what I'm doing at the moment in terms of genre is I'm not thinking about genre really at all. Because one of the things that frustrates me, and this kind of goes into the what it shows why I'm so excited about this adapt tempo function as well. Because I'm from a classical background first, and then I played a lot of jazz, and I did pop, and I did lots of different kinds of music. Been playing and performing music from the age of 7, and the one thing that I found very frustrating about most electronic music, not all, most electronic music, is that it is so tempo confined, both on a macro level in terms of the genre. Like, I make house, therefore, I mean, I did it, yeah. Therefore, it must be between 120 and, well, I don't know. We can argue about when it ends, but 126, 128, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So you make music at that tempo, and I mean, it's obvious why. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying, for me as an artist, I was finding it stifling. Yeah. Constraints are great. I mean, for a long time, I actually really enjoyed the constraints because it meant you can reinterpret things. Yeah. But for me, I found it stifling. But the other thing on a more micro level is that when you're playing, in classical music, for instance, if I play a Mozart sonata, for instance, or any sonata, and any classical music, I mean, so much of the expressiveness of that music comes from the music speeding up and slowing down. I mean, so much of it. It's like, without that, it's almost like you've removed I don't know, I can't do it in percentage terms, but let's just say 25% of its expressiveness. Because when you slow down and you put it, same in jazz, in kind of live performance in general, and that's one of the things I found very frustrating. So tempo is something that I've been wanting to. I mean, when I left making music and looked at what I'd done, I realized that tempo was something that was kind of getting to me. Yeah. So what I'm doing now is I am letting the music tell me what tempo it wants to be. So I come up with an idea, just like I did then. If you were at the start of the stream, you saw me playing it, and it just ends up that it's somewhere between. It's in the 130s range. I don't know whether you can see that. It's probably a bit small. Hang on, sorry. Studio. So here we go. When I played this, you can see it's somewhere in the 130s range. But I didn't do that because I'm making techno. Yeah, I did that because that's what came out. Now, what will the genre be of this? I don't know, and it doesn't matter. But because what I am defining as my style, I mean, it's the same process as a genre is created in a sense, but I'm choosing the elements myself. So, Rob's saying, I decided to change to drum and bass. Okay. Now I am in drum and bass. So that means I take this type of element from over here, and I do that though. So how do you do a drum and bass beat? Yeah. What are the things I have to do? And then you go and watch tutorials, and then you're like, okay, so this is so then now I'm going to get good at drum and bass. Yeah. Yeah. So you take that element from there. Oh yeah. So and then there's the bass, right? So now I need to know about how a drum and bass thing works. Yeah. So these elements were at some point created by someone for the first time, or kind of over time they gradually developed. Yeah. And other people went, oh, that's a cool idea, so I'm going to start to do that. And so it became this category, yeah, based upon elements. But when you think about it, in that situation, there's nothing wrong with doing this. I've done it for years and I still do. Yeah. But in that situation, you are defining your sound based on other people's decisions, which is cool because you might want to fit in that space. I totally get it. Yeah. But for me, I want to choose the elements that I'm using based upon my creative process, what's coming out of my creative process, not based upon everybody else's creative process. So it is kind of, in a sense, based upon other people's creative process, because I'm taking this from over here. So I use Vangelis like strings, yeah, or I'm using kind of beats from over here, but I'm not. It's almost like what sounds like me is going to be the elements that I decide upon rather than a category based element. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that, but that's like I'm not even thinking about genre. So all of these genre questions, as far as I'm concerned, are kind of irrelevant.